Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and Ray Fuentes from Link2, he put together an interesting little video here. He's talking about Uphold, and he's talking about Brad Garlinghouse's comments on Bloomberg.
People are talking about a potential XRP ETF coming down the pike thanks to Brad Garlinghouse's iconic interview on Bloomberg Crypto this week. While an XRP ETF would be incredible news, I want to focus on his comment regarding exchange-traded funds related to crypto baskets.
And I think it's inevitable that there'll be, multiple ETFs around different tokens. And I think you'll even see ETFs potentially around baskets. That also, I think, further diversify that risk.
Now, why did Brad bring up crypto baskets? Where have we seen crypto baskets before? Well, for starters, crypto exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, track the price performance of one or more cryptos, maybe the entire sector one day. Why Brad's basket comment caught my eye is because this is a live feature I've recently had the pleasure of playing with on
The Digital Asset Investor will be buying baskets, I can promise you that.
Uphold's application. Matter of fact, Uphold's head of research, Martin Hiesbach, posted that Uphold was testing their new baskets feature back in January of this year, while the feature was still in beta. Now, could these be the same crypto baskets that Brad was referring to? I'd like to say yes, but that's just me speculating at this time. I can tell you, after making a few crypto basket transactions myself, using Uphold's application, it's apparent that Uphold's team is definitely a pioneer of this transformative technology. And with that being said, keep your head on a swivel, ladies and gentlemen. This industry is moving fast. If you've had the privilege of experimenting with Uphold's new basket feature, like I've had, let me know what you think in the comments.
All right, now check this out. Against that backdrop, the other day I showed you this video. This is the CEO of Uphold.
There's a slightly different point, which is as regulation is now finally becoming clearer in the UK, in Europe in particular, in places like Singapore and Dubai, as the regs become clearer, you're going to get greater enterprise adoption. You're also going to get greater adoption from the traditional finance world. So we've now been approached by several banks who are interested in white labeling our service.
Labeling, huh?
They don't want our wallet. They don't want their customers have to go through KYC twice, but they do want to plug in and access certain of our core services.
That's correct. You mean like white label so that banks can have, so that their customers can invest in crypto baskets? How about those apples? Now, through link to my sponsor, I am an investor in Uphold. And so, and I just looked, they have Uphold Private Equity on the platform right now. And so this is one of my favorite private equity investments is the Uphold, and it's at what I consider to be a reasonable price on there too. So go check that out. And Link2 is my sponsor now. Now, I want to remind everybody that XRP Las Vegas is coming up. Now, last year the sale, from what I recall, the sales of tickets to XRP Las Vegas began to really accelerate into like March, and April, because the conference is in May. And I was talking to Brad Combs about how fast the sales were moving recently. And so just wanted to give you a heads up on that. All the links to buy your tickets are in the description here of this video. I also just reposted the link to get a discount inside if you're in my group at daixrp.com. Go check that out. Tom Lee thinks, I don't think I played this clip yesterday for you. Tom Lee thinks Bitcoin's headed to 150,000.
I said 75. What did you say to me?
I think it's, could be as high as 150,000 this year.
So double what I thought was.
Yeah.
150,000, so we're tripling at this point.
Yeah, because you've got demand improving with the ETF and you have the supply shrinking with the halvening. And if monetary policy eases, which we expect, that's supportive of risk assets, and Bitcoin's holding up. I mean, that's another reason why I don't think a drawdown is going to start that soon. I mean, Bitcoin's been rallying the last couple weeks.
Wow. So take that to the bank.
Those are big numbers. I don't know anymore.
And are you in, hold on, let me just go back. Are you in the camp of this is like a $500,000 valued?
Over the next...
Over 5 years, are you?
Yeah, it is sound money. And I think it's proving to be useful. And
Proving to be useful how?
Well,
it's very useful if you're an investor, right?
Uh-oh, there's the problem. And I'm going to show you an uncomfortable truth in DAIXRP.com about this.
Yes, it's been a great store value. It's been a good risk asset. It's also incredibly secure. You know, there hasn't been a single fraudulent entry on the blockchain since inception. I don't think any bank can say that's true of their P&L and accounting. You know, 6% of banking transactions are suspicious, 0% on the Bitcoin.
Okay. Now, this struck me big time because John Deaton was right there with us when we were uncovering ETHgate, and we saw how the CNBCs of the world would not cover ETHgate. To this day, they won't cover ETHgate. We saw how Fox Business turned on it was almost like somebody got to them. We saw how that happened. We saw how everything was spun in a way. Okay? And now John Deaton has entered the fray to run against Elizabeth Warren, and this is the media, CBS in Boston, I guess. And you can just hear, and you want to see real time how they're spinning this as pro Elizabeth Warren. I mean, our media is totally captured, folks. We don't have media anymore. We don't have media the way it was supposed to be when this country was founded, to hold power accountable. They're in bed with the powerful now. Listen to the way that they spin everything in Elizabeth Warren's favor.
Well, there's a new name in Massachusetts politics, and he wants to challenge Senator Elizabeth Warren as the Democrat runs for a third term. WBZ political analyst John Keller takes a look at Republican John Deaton and what his announcement video tells us.
I am running for U.S. Senate to continue my life's mission to shake things up for the people who need it most.
And the announcement video of Swansea attorney John Deaton tells a story not unlike that of the incumbent he wants to unseat.
When I was growing up in Oklahoma, all three of my brothers went off to the military. That was their ticket to the middle class.
Warren has always emphasized her humble roots, but Deaton says he can top that.
Highland Park, Detroit. I grew up in real poverty.
And does this self-description remind you of anyone?
I fought for the little guy. I took on the greedy.
They're trying to present John Deaton like, oh, well, Elizabeth, we've already got somebody that came up the hard way and is already our senator. Elizabeth Warren, she's great. These people have no shame.
And the heartless insurance companies, and I won. Take on Washington corruption.
Deaton's video cites corruption while showing Warren's picture, but makes no specific claim against her, a standard ad maker's trick.
Oh my gosh, these people are nauseating.
Lectures and plays politics and gets nothing done for Massachusetts.
But what a coincidence. Warren just released a report documenting her role in winning $50 billion in federal funds from...
These people ought to be ashamed of themselves. This ought to be illegal for the news media to be running cover for a politician. This should be literally illegal. These people have no business claiming to be media. I mean, this is not media. This is propaganda. Very obviously propaganda. And make no mistake, folks, just like we did in ETHgate, we'll find out the handles to all these news channels and we'll call them out for exactly this too. Just sit back and wait. Okay. Now, right, Charles Gasparino is calling out Elizabeth Warren when she tried to compare John Deaton to MAGA. Calling John Deaton a MAGA Republican, I know MAGAs and I know Deaton. It's pretty absurd and sounds desperate. Why is Senator Warren so worried? And then here's Mike Novogratz. Our old buddy Mike Novogratz is weighing in too. He was on CNBC.
When do you think we get to a point where people actually are buying and selling this product?
Well, listen, there is a trading community, right? Like what people forget is if you're young, it's not been difficult to buy Bitcoin, right? You get it on your Square app, you get it on almost any app, Robinhood. And so there's a whole universe of people that have bought and sold that will continue to. And hedge funds broadly, I mean, they don't buy and sell daily unless they're quant funds. But, macro funds will get in and then they'll get out just like any other macro asset. You think about gold, every macro trader I know has been bullish gold, but I bet you every single macro trader you can talk to has both bought and sold gold 4 times in the last 6 months.
If I asked you to make the downside case for Bitcoin, what would it be in your mind?
45,000, 42,000.
And what would get you there?
It could be some regulatory,
Well, maybe the one rising and getting its own ETF, XRP.
Kerfuffle.
And people saying the same thing I've said for 10 years, which is, why in the world would you put your money in this thing that wastes all this energy, that's slow, that I have to wait on confirmations for, and it doesn't make any sense. It never has made any sense. When I can do this one, it's less expensive, it scales, it moves fast. The second I send it, what?
It could just be the market got a little long and you get people scared. I don't see that as a high probability, but we broke out. You can just look at the chart. We kind of broke out from 45, and so pushing through where you broke out from happens often in markets. It's not supposed to be easy to make money. You got to get scared a few times, and that's what's been so impressive about the real core Bitcoin community. Like they just take the pain and buy more. I mean, there's such a belief system around this asset. But it wouldn't surprise me if something happened that we're not.
Okay, and then you got this clip right here. This is interesting. He's talking. This is something I've been saying for over 5 years. He's talking about the financial advisors, because what I've always said is that financial advisors, that once they figure out how they can get paid on this asset class, they're going to come in. And he's talking about how many of them have not come in yet.
The advisors can actually recommend Bitcoin as a product today versus how many will be able to do that in 6 months from now?
I don't have a perfect answer, but I would tell you at least double in 6 months. Right, there are big channels that still aren't turned on, that we know they're going to get turned on. Right, we're in conversations with them. These are the big platforms, and there's an inevitability to it. Why? Because they're.
You mean the same inevitability like Brad Garlinghouse said on Bloomberg, that an XRP ETF is inevitable?
Customers are calling and bitching at them and saying, "We want to buy Bitcoin with you." And so then the sales guys who get paid for selling stuff are screaming at their bosses. And so I'm certain it's going to happen. This is not, it might happen. It is going to happen. It just takes time. These organizations are very conservative in general. And, crypto scared the heck out of people 18 months ago. And so there's still scar tissue. It's surprising that we have a approved, U.S. sanctioned Bitcoin ETF, and it's still very difficult for a lot of crypto companies just to get banking services in the U.S.
Okay, what do we have next? Oh, we had this Layden Stewart, the SEC's crypto unit leader. She's left the SEC and joined private pro-crypto law firm White and Case. This woman right here, apparently this is a really big deal. Actually, this is a separate thing. So she left, all right? And then, I may have actually mixed these up. Okay. Layden Stewart, she's the one that led the crypto unit in actions against Coinbase and Ripple. And now she left Gary hanging. Apparently it's not working out over there. And you also had this. She says, this is, let me see who this is. Chief legal officer at something. So this is huge. Today, this LEJILEX, building the world's first legit exchange, and the Crypto Freedom Alliance of Texas sued the SEC seeking a declaration that secondary market sales of digital assets like the ones that whoever that is, intends to facilitate through their exchange are not sales of securities. And then Metal Lawman weighs in. He says, this is a big deal. Crypto Freedom Alliance of Texas just sued the SEC seeking a declaration that crypto assets traded on secondary markets are not securities. And they brought in the big guns. Paul Clement, former U.S. Solicitor General, has handled over 100 cases before the Supreme Court. Everybody get your amicus briefs ready. This is going to be big, folks. Now, in DAIXRP.com, we're going to talk about Brad Garlinghouse. We're going to talk about what I believe is coming. We're also going to talk about some inconvenient Bitcoin truths. So I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Let's go talk about what Brad Garlinghouse is going to be doing and what it could mean.